Good evening. Tell me, how many of you make a conscious decision to be successful? Awesome. How many of you make a conscious decision to be significant? Oh, good. Good. I am the colonel's daughter. My father was a lieutenant colonel in the United States Air Force. He stood 6 feet, 6.5 inches tall, and was 285 pounds on his very leanest day. Dad had a personality that entered the room 5 minutes before he did. Dad was intentional in trying to guide his daughters to be the very best that they could be. He was constantly dropping little nuggets on me, little kernels of wisdom on me. One of those that has stuck with me so solidly is the colonel said, anyone can be successful, kiddo. Choose to be significant. You see, significance has nothing whatsoever to do with how much money you make. Significance has nothing whatsoever to do with what your title is or how much perceived power you have. Significance is all about how many lives you touch and the manner in which you choose to impact them. The colonel said, you will know that you have been significant, Lauren Ann, when people who talk about you, they don't talk about what you've achieved for yourself, but rather what you've accomplished in the service of other people. I've had the privilege of knowing some people who are truly significant, and I've discovered certain characteristics that all of them have in common. Tonight I'm going to share with you 3 of those characteristics. The first 2 go hand in hand, and I present them together. In other avenues, I call them my 2 pillars of serenity and success. You see, all leadership stands on 2 pillars. All success stands on 2 pillars. All effective communication stands on these same 2 pillars. I believe all functioning life has to stand on these 2 pillars. All significance stands on these 2 pillars. I want you to visualize yourself standing, and you have rebar. Y'all know what rebar is? Do I have anyone that doesn't? I really want you to get this visual. Okay? Okay, thank you for being honest with me. You've seen it, you've just never put a name to it. When they build buildings or freeways, the little iron rods they pour the concrete over to make the wall stronger, those are called reinforcing bars, which has been shortened to. So we're talking about those little iron rods. So we have that rebar, and it's coming from your hips, around your knees, around your heels into concrete, through the concrete, into the mantle of the earth. Now that roots you. That solidifies you so completely that when the winds of conflict blow, the winds of change, chaos, adversity, anxiety, misfortune, when they blow, and they're gonna, they blow around you. They do not blow you down. Your left pillar is your own self-esteem, and your right pillar is respect to all people. So let's take a look at your left pillar to begin with. Folks, there is a profound difference between self-confidence and self-esteem. Self-confidence tells you that you can perform a particular task well. It tells you that you're capable. Self-esteem, on the other hand, tells that you have value because you exist and are therefore worthy of merit. Self-esteem tells you that your value does not rest in who your parents are, what your lineage is, what your country of origin is, who you're married to or dating, how much money you have or make, what your title is, what your abilities or disabilities may be, what kind of car you drive, whose name is stitched into the lapel of your clothing or your shoes, what size you wear, what color your skin is, your hair, your eyes, any of those things that we and society seem to allow our value to rest in. Folks, your value rests in the fact that you exist. You are fearfully and wonderfully made. It's inherent. It doesn't have to be earned, and it cannot be purchased. It just is. Let's take a look at the right pillar for a moment. I read in a book once when I was younger than I am today. The book was called How to Deal with Difficult People. It was by Paul Friedman. I don't know if Friedman intended this to be profound. It was profound to me, and I took it on as a standard for my life. Friedman said this: I choose to treat this person with respect, whether or not I like what they think, say, or do. Even if they're not treating me with respect, I choose to treat them with respect. And the operative word in that sentence would be what? Thank you. Yes, it's a choice. It's a choice we make every day. I call it walking higher ground. And it is a foundation upon which I have built my life and my business. Now, some people believe that functioning from that paradigm, treating other people with respect, even though they're not treating me with respect, some people think that would put them at a disadvantage. Nothing could be further from the truth, because higher ground is always the most powerful place to be. Certainly from a military perspective, higher ground is the most powerful place to be. But from a personal perspective, and that is simply because we rarely, if ever, need to question our intentions. And we rarely, if ever, need to scrub our feet off from mucking down in the muck. Now, I believe that we all try and stay on higher ground. We're all human. Some days we fall right off of it. Those are poop days. Then we scrub our feet off, we climb back up, and we try again the next day. Then we have some days where we've got one foot up on higher ground, and we're dragging the other one in the gutter behind us. We hope that nobody's noticing that we're dragging one foot in the gutter. Because every now and then, it feels good to drag one foot in the gutter. Doesn't it? Every now and then it feels good to gossip about other people, to chortle at their misfortune, to expand the story and the telling to solidify your own position, to wallow in bitterness or refuse to forgive. And yet at the end of that day, we have to look ourselves in the eye, scrub that one foot off before we'll slide it into our nice clean sheets. Now, it's really important that you all understand what I'm asking of you here. I'm not asking you to respect all people. There are people that I have met, that I have observed, encountered, that I can, for whatever reason, maybe it's their behavior, maybe it's our differing ethics, for whatever reason, I can in no way respect them. Doesn't mean I don't choose to treat them with respect. And that's where the difference lies. So choosing significance requires a core knowledge of your own value, your own self-esteem. Choosing significance requires treating all people with respect, whether or not you like what they think, say, or do. That brings us to our third characteristic. You know, I'm often asked the casual question, where are you from? I grew up in the Air Force. I'm not from anywhere. Military children live their lives like chips on a stream, going where the military tells them to go, when they are told to go, often with less than 2 weeks' notice. And they do so with a brave little soldier face on. We moved every 18 months to 3 years. Indeed, until I graduated high school, I had never lived anywhere longer than 3 years at a time. Each new station brought a new city, a new neighborhood, a new school that I had to adapt to. I discovered very early on the value of absorbing the environment that I had been suddenly thrust into. and mimicking it, and the ability to make friends quickly and easily. In my speaking career, I've had the privilege, the honor of speaking to people from all ethnic backgrounds, many ethnic backgrounds. All is a very general statement. Many ethnic backgrounds, geographic regions, economic statuses, each of whom had their own religion and their own cultural differences and their own values. Allowing myself to be open and listen and try and understand what drives each individual human being has given me the opportunity, an incredible opportunity for growth as a speaker, as an entrepreneur, and as a person. Choosing significance requires understanding a universal commonality. You see, the vast diversity on the planet can be overwhelming, and I get that. And yet, at some level, we are all alike. Oh, we may be different in how we look and how we sound and what we do and what we believe, but we all have the common humanity, understanding the human experience. Recently, I was enjoying a quiet minute of sunshine in a city park, and I observed two men in a very heated political argument. Can you imagine that in today's society? I don't know. They were maybe in their late 30s and completely polarized in their thinking. Their argument was becoming loud and ugly. I was really afraid it was going to come to blows, and I got up to leave to avoid the noise that had so shattered my peace, when suddenly this toddling little girl ran past them, chasing a ball and laughing. And as she giggled and gamboled, she tripped and went flying and landed hard on the pavement. Immediately, both men got up to take care of her. They made sure that she wasn't hurt too badly. They comforted her. They identified and waved down her mother. They had immediately formed community. They had set aside their differences, naturally, organically, instinctively, to benefit this little girl. Now, after the child was carried away by her grateful mother, I watched them chatting easily, almost sheepishly. Both of them seemed unable to go back to their angry argument. Folks, my life has taught me beyond a shadow of a doubt that there are three sides to every story: yours, mine, and the truth. Folks, each of us expands with knowledge and contracts with ignorance. We are nourished by the same foods and sickened by the same toxins. We are attacked by the same diseases and cured by the same medicines. We all seek happiness and to avoid misfortune. We all laugh and we all cry. We all want good health, to live in a just world, to learn and grow in a safe environment. Love thrills us, and hatred poisons our heart. We all want to be loved and to belong to something bigger than ourselves. 99% of what we are, we have in common with every other human being on the planet. If we could focus on that, rather than how we're different, treating each other with respect would be so much easier. The colonel understood that. He was intentional in challenging both of his daughters to rise above mere success and strive for significance. I am the colonel's daughter. I have challenged my children to rise above success and strive for significance. It's a choice I make. It's a choice you can make. Each and every one of you is faced with that opportunity every morning. Folks, anyone can be successful. Choose to be significant. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, certified speaker.